"There are evil things written on this hilt," he said, "though maybe your eyes cannot see them. Keep it, Aragorn, till we reach the house of Elrond, but be wary, and handle it as little as you may. Alas, the wounds of this weapon are beyond my skill to heal." Hey everyone, and happy almost Halloween. Yoiston here, and I hope you all are doing well, wherever you are in Middle-earth. Today we have an interesting video on the black magic of Middle-earth, the powers of the Nazgul, Morgul. Now there isn't too much info on this, so please excuse the smaller video, but what we do know I will put here and leave sources in the description and cards for more, if there is more to be found. My friends, thank you all so much for watching. Let's begin our tale. Morgul magic, meaning black sorcery or dark magic in Sindarin, was the evil power of the Nazgul and potentially the evil power of Sauron. Like the creatures of Melkor, nothing can truly be created by evil, only corrupted or made in mockery of what good things already existed. Therefore, I must imagine that Morgul magic was a mockery of the magic, if you can call it that, of the elves and Valar and so forth. That power which could restore life and grow nature and other outcomes. That power that could sustain or heal, that could protect nature. Think of Elrond's healing abilities, or Galadriel's ability to keep Lothlorien safe, or the power behind an oath, or the magic of the foresight of some people in the West. I must imagine that Morgul was the opposite or inverse of that, a perversion of orderly and good power. This power of the Nazgul, Morgul, as well as their unnatural life in both the seen and unseen wraith world, their aura of fear and despair, their ability to recloak and not die, their sorcery, such as that of the Witch King and perhaps other Nazgul, to send forth spirits like the Witch King did to the Barrow-downs, and other powers seem to be theirs and theirs directly. Normally, for something like Morgul magic, I would point to Melkor as perhaps the sure source of such an evil abomination in Middle-earth, but I doubt Morgoth was actually the originator of this, at least. No, the powers of the Nazgul and Morgul both seem to come directly from the Nazgul, and potentially it was a gift from Sauron. If we look at Minas Morgul and its surrounding valley, Imlad Morgul, or even the river, Morgulduin, that flowed through it, or even the flowers that grew there, we have a better understanding of what this magic is, and what it can more fully do. It is the power of decay, rot, and death. It made Minas Ithil become the Dead City, the city of black magic, Minas Morgul. When cut with a knife infused with Morgul power through crude inscriptions and runes upon it, one such as Frodo in the Fellowship of the Ring, or Boromir, the 11th Steward of Gondor in the Appendices, we see that a person will decay physically and spiritually until, according to Gandalf at least, one becomes wraith-like themselves. And in Boromir, father of Kirion's case, he actually succumbed to this wound, according to the Appendices, which I'm not sure if that means he became a wraith or just simply did pass away. Now, since we are talking all about the powers of the Nazgul, this must also be where the fear of their aura also comes from, and the poisonous black breath that hindered Éowyn and Merry to some degree, as well as the power of the Nazgul that wounds the arms of those that also deal harm to the Nazgul directly. All of this is to say that it seems to me that Morgul was some sort of side effect of the Nazgul themselves, or at least an evil art, taught to them by Sauron to command some level of corruption and decay, as all things in the proximity of the Nazgul fester and rot. We know that some of the Nazgul were sorcerers, and Sauron also had more secrets of his own that we as an audience, we as readers, don't really get. We are told in the themes of the narrative that it is dangerous to delve too deeply into the works of the enemy, lest we ourselves are corrupted. Therefore, this would certainly be something that we do have little information on, something we could little understand or comprehend outside of our own headcanon. But here's the theory of mine having to do with Morgul. Throughout the ages, we see Sauron engage in some really, truly evil and dastardly things. One of those things is human sacrifice in Morgoth's name in Númenor. Now, it could be that it was simply an anti-Númenor, pro-Morgoth thing to do, religious and mocking in a way. Or it could be that something like that was part of the process. Minas Ithil was once filled with Gondorians, ones that were all taken and slain, never heard from again after the Nazgul came there. Since Minas Morgul was the city of black magic, it could be that such fell and evil rituals, unspeakable acts that allowed for such manifestation of Morgul happened there. Perhaps not. Perhaps the power was simply tied to the power of the Nazgul and their rings, some sort of almost radioactivity from them and their rings. Or perhaps it was a simple gift from Sauron to his Nazgul. For I must also imagine that the Witch King had used it during the Angmar War, which, granted, was before the taking of Minas Ithil and the changing of it into Minas Morgul. I also would like to mention that the two Watchers outside of the Tower of Cirith Ungol, which had some fell and dark power about them, were likely related to Morgul as well. And likely the Silent Watchers outside of Minas Morgul would be the same sort of magic. So, these are the answers we have. The powers of the Nazgul were those of terror, decay, an unkillable shade that could be recloaked, the black breath, and so forth, all stemming, in my mind, from Morgul magic. And this is what made them not only so good in battle, but terrifying and off-putting to all those who encountered them, so truly evil and really difficult to defeat. So what do you all think about this? Was there anything that I missed? Let me know in the comments below. And so, my friends, we come to the end of our tale on Morgul. From this tale, we see that there are some powers out there that are not meant for us to wield. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button and share this with a friend. Let me know your thoughts on Morgul magic in the comments below. It is another interesting enigma within the works, for sure. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider getting some candles from our friends Mythologie Candles, or order some What It Were United Cutlery, Lord of the Rings sword statues, and other replicas from Castle Kon, who does international shipping, and use the code WEST at checkout. And please check out our merch. Join our memberships and Patreon for access to Discord and our monthly podcast, an episode of which is upcoming this next Sunday. Thanks to our Valar tier patrons and YouTube members, Ed Patterson, Comic Nut 64, Brian Hunley, Peter Shepard, John Hume, Reese Jenkins, Arthur Merlin, Theodore, Andrew Carlisle, and Zoomi. Thank you all so much. Your support really keeps the channel going, so thank you. Please subscribe and hit that bell button, everyone, to join the Men of the West and all of the free peoples today. And I'll see you all again next week with the video on the fall of Saruman. When and how did it happen? My friends, thank you all so much for joining me on this adventure. Until the next one.